Welcome back to another episode of On Cloud B. We did it again. If you're new here, I'm your host, Berthia, with your co-host,
Pkilla on the mic.
And you're listening to your favorite podcast.
On Cloud B.
Yes, On Cloud B, indeed. So, how have you been?
I've been good.
Yeah?
I've been good. I think a little time has passed since I last saw you.
Yes.
But I've been good. Life is good.
Life is good indeed. I can't complain either. As you know, I've had a couple weeks off from work. So I've been having the time of my life. Time of my life indeed. Been in the hot tub, been chilling, going to the gym every day, working on self-care.
That's good.
Working on things that I'm passionate about, like YouTube. So can't quite complain. And having all this free time has had me thinking, though, a little bit,
Oh, Lord, here we go.
I feel like everyone gets in those moods sometimes where you're just like, what is this? What is this thing that we call life? Have you ever had that thought before?
That's deep. One's too many.
Yeah. Do you ever wonder, what we're doing here?
Who are we?
Where do we come from?
Why are we here?
What is our purpose?
Are we alive?
Sometimes I honestly think that we're living in a simulation. This is
like a parallel universe? Or alternate universe?
There could be alternate universes. I don't know. I'm open to that debate. But I sometimes feel that the world that we live in can't be real. You know what I mean? So I actually...
That's deep. That's deep.
I came across this YouTube video, right? Because I have a lot of free time on my hands. And it was pretty much someone interviewing Elon Musk, Mr. Tesla.
Yep.
And they asked them the question. They were like, this was actually a couple years ago, back in 2016. They were like, do you think that we're living in a simulation? You know what this man said?
Enlighten me.
Listen, he said, there's a 1 in a billion chance that this is the real world. So he said there is a 1 in a billion chance that this is actually the real world. He thinks we're living in a simulation. So then,
like the Matrix.
Somewhat right? Like that. Somewhat, yeah.
Like we're in a matrix of some sort.
Yeah. So that then got me thinking. I'm like, I've heard this concept. I've had conversations with some people that have been like, it's kind of worth investigating. So here I am going down the rabbit hole. I get to yet another video, and it's talking about some reasons why we might actually be living in a simulation. So I'm just going to pull it up here because it was some real interesting stuff.
Was it?
Some real interesting stuff. Of course, I should have been more prepared. I should have had it up here, but I just want to share.
When I think of what's real and what's not, I think my mind just goes right to religion and the Bible, to be exact, because it's like, well, God created this, and He created the animals and the planets and us. So, I'm not big on science necessarily, and I don't think it's not real. I don't think science is not real. I think my belief stems from religion more so than science.
So do you think that religion has a somewhat of a stand as to whether, so pretty much this is the real world?
To an extent, I think, this is the real deal.
Okay. I'm just going to shoot some facts.
Yeah.
Well, not some facts, but some
things you read.
Some ideas, and we can figure out whether you still think this is a real world by the end of our conversation.
Okay.
The first thing was that the video first started by saying that there is a 50-50 chance that the world that we live in is actually real. 50-50 chance is what some people have said. So, for example, coincidences, right? So, you kind of walk down the street and you see something, or two people reach for the same thing at the same time, or two people say the same things at the same time. It's like, is that like a glitch, or are just these weird occurrences, right, that happen?
Yeah.
are they really coincidences, or is this someone up above planning,
like manipulating,
right, and being like, oh, we're gonna make these people do the same things just as a joke?
No,
how funny would that be?
I think I can speak on like saying the same thing as someone else. Like when you both like, Jinx, you owe me a soda, right? When you say something like that, I think that kind of stems from how long you've spent with that person, and you kind of pick up like their quirks and stuff.
What if it's a random person?
All right, you got me there. But I mean, I don't tend to have that experience with that specific experience, like saying the same thing with random people. Like I've had it with my exes, where we literally like verbatim, word for word, would say the exact same thing.
Right. But I feel like that's because you guys spend a lot of time together.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So, but then you threw that question at me of like, there are people who meet for the first time and like finish each other's sentences. Right. And then they're like, well, we're meant to be.
Right, right. So here are a couple of the interesting things that I found out. So, did you play video games growing up? Were you big into video games?
Do you consider Mario and Luigi, like Mario Kart? I guess that, right?
Yeah, that's a video game. Yeah.
That's about it.
So, you know how when you're playing a video game, you got the character, right? You're playing, and you kind of let them do things like jump across. Let's actually use the example of like, let's do like, whatchamacallit? Like, let's do like Mortal Kombat. Okay. Or The Sims or something. Let's do The Sims. I think The Sims is a good one.
Like virtual reality.
Yeah. So with The Sims, you're making them build a house. They're raising a family. They're going grocery shopping. They're setting their house on fire. Alternative. Right. So they, in that space, are experiencing some sort of a life, right? These characters in there. So now, when one character gets married to the other, you know, they're experiencing that emotion in the...
Are they?
In
the game.
In the game. Okay. So, is that the fact that they're falling in love and getting married, is that for them, or is that for you, the player, that's controlling it? You know what I mean?
I see what you're saying. Like, you're almost creating what's a universe you essentially want within your universe.
That's benefiting you and not actually the characters that are in there. They're going through the motions, going through what they call life.
You know what I always thought? You've seen Toy Story, right? How they play dead when the humans come in. I've always questioned if my toys and my teddies did that.
I'm gonna give her a moment of silence here. Yeah, no, I've never thought about that.
No? I mean, how do we know though?
Maybe when I first saw Toy Story, I think probably during the week of, I was like, Mr. Teddy. What do you do when I'm not in here? But have I really thought about it as...
But why is that? Then? Why is that like, oh, it can never happen?
Because they're toys. They're inanimate objects.
How do you know?
Because they're inanimate objects.
How do you know when you're not there that they don't come to life?
They have no source of life within them. They're made of plastic.
Are you sure?
I would be, I think I would put my life savings on it.
Well, how do you know you're real?
Because I'm talking right now. I can feel myself.
So there's functionality to you.
Yeah. And that brings me to the term that I heard, QUALIA. Have you ever heard of that term? So it's kind of hard to define per se, but QUALIA is pretty much like your experiences, right? So like the wind blows on your face, you feel it. Yeah. Something scares you, that feeling that you get. Yeah. You know, so it's the experience. So going back to the topic of video games, so I think we can agree on the fact that the characters in the video game are experiencing things, right? Is the experience for them
or for you?
Or is it for you that's playing the game? Are we somewhat of video games being played by other people? By like a higher functioning society? Is this thing called life just someone's playground that they have somehow manufactured?
What if it's God's?
Is it?
Could be. I mean, in the Bible it says he knew you yet when you were in your mother's womb, right? So, and a lot of times we tend to believe that God already knows the end from the beginning, right? So maybe he's programmed us this way and he knows everything and he's the one controlling us.
So you don't have any question as to whether God created a higher species who created us?
I don't think that's true. Because where are they?
We don't know because we're in the video game. We're in the simulation.
Well, we're definitely not in a simulation. If maybe I saw aliens on Mars, then I'd be like, okay. But
maybe I saw aliens on Mars.
Well, because I don't. If I saw other species, right, that can talk and move and have like life and functionality to them, maybe. But like, we're just here alone.
We're here alone? You know that for a fact? Where alone? Where are we alone?
In this universe, on Earth alone.
Oh, Earth. Okay, because in the universe, what does that even mean? We haven't explored the whole universe. We don't know if we're out here alone.
Well, we've been to Mars, and there's no life there.
What's on Mars?
No life.
Where else have we been?
I don't know. I haven't been anywhere.
Listen,
I've just been here, Boston, LA.
All I'm saying is there's something funky going on around here.
Why? I don't agree with that.
There's something real funky. This world that we live in could very well not be real.
How is that? I don't understand it. Why do you feel it's not real? I mean, you see people going through pregnancies and then give life, and you grow, you go through, childhood, adulthood, then you die. So
I'm not saying it's not physically real. I'm saying it's a simulation and there's another world out there that's a real world. And we are just something that someone's controlling. Let me give you this fact. So
yes, please give me a fact, because everything else just seems like it's just...
Some scientists were able to input information into DNA, right? So DNA is the molecule that makes us.
Right.
We are made of DNA.
Right.
And scientists were able to put data into that and also extract data into DNA.
Really?
Yes. And so much so that they decided to see if they could input like a virus, like somewhat of like a computer generated virus into a DNA. And the DNA was able to retain that information. Do you know what that means?
What does that mean?
That means that if we can input data in our own DNA, why can't something else just build
What
humans?
is this something else?
I don't know.
Well, then
I don't know.
there's no argument.
It's not an argument.
I
think we live in a simulation. I think none of this is real. None of this is real.
I think it's all real.
There's someone out there watching us, and they're controlling our lives, and we have no idea. They're making things happen, and we're just out here la 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 for somebody else's enjoyment.
Well, whoever and wherever you are, please make me rich.
Hey, maybe if you find them and you ask them, they'll make you rich.
Why?
Maybe say it louder. Maybe if you say it louder, they'll hear you out.
Yeah, no. Highly doubt that. And
going back to the coincidences thing, right? So some coincidences are just like, geez, like, how does this even happen? So I'll give you one example. This literally happened like 2 days ago. Me and my friend were going to the gym, and we were in the downtown area. And then my friend, probably about 5 minutes before we get to the parking lot, my friend was like, hey, this kind of gives me New York vibes. And I was like, yeah, that definitely has a New York vibe going on here. So then we ended up pulling into the parking lot, and the gentleman that's there, the parking attendant, he looks at us dead in the face. He goes, are you guys from New York?
No, stop.
I swear to you. I'll call her right now. I swear to you, that happened. He said, are you guys from New York?
Maybe he overheard your conversation.
He did not hear our conversation. We were down the street. She said,
like goosebumps.
Yeah, she said, this gives me New York vibes. She said like 3 times, like, oh yeah, this is definitely giving me New York vibes. We pull into the parking lot. I put my window down. are you guys from New York? Was his first question. And I just looked at him, because this was like right after I saw the video about the weird coincidence and stuff that happened. I was like, no. What makes you think we're from New York? He was like, you guys just kind of give me that vibe. I was like, okay, that's creepy.
It's true, but I mean, you cannot. I can like
of all the states in this country, this man said New York.
Well, New Yorkers, I think, depending on where you're from, like Baltimore, you know, because their accent, right?
I didn't say a word to him.
But even, I could look at a New Yorker and know. Like, they don't have to open their mouth.
Am I from New York?
No, you're not. What I'm saying is, you can look at somebody without them having to even say a word and kind of identify. Maybe their appearance, maybe what they wear.
Do I look like I'm from New York? Is this how y'all be?
No, you look like you're from Ghana.
Out here in New York, you got some gray sweatpants, jean jacket. You got a little a bathing suit toss. How we dress in New York? Yeah, I got a New York accent going on. What's up?
No, I don't know what you sound, but that's not New York.
So why did he say New York to me? Why did he look me dead in the face?
Maybe he's trying to say you're from the East Coast. I get that a lot, right? Being in the West Coast now, where people are like, "You're not from here. You're not like."
A random person pulls into your parking garage and you assume they're not from there.
Yeah,
I have California plates.
Still, people. Like I said, it's not even about him right now. I could look at somebody and know, that they're not from a specific place. Like, does that equate to like knowing certain types of like Africans?
I mean,
does that equate? Like, I can tell a Liberian from a Nigerian to a Ghanaian.
I think that's a thing, but I don't think it like relates to the topic at hand that he said New York when we said New York.
Well, what I'm saying is you can make out someone when they're not from a specific place.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But how is he going to make me out and know I'm not from California?
That's what I'm saying. Like, it could just be your vibe, your energy.
Or maybe the computer up there told him to say New York just to see how my reaction would be. Maybe the person that's controlling my life somewhere up there was like, let's see how she reacts when he says New York. Let's see her trip out. Maybe that could be one of the reasons why he said New York. But I totally get what you're saying. You do see some people, even like, you can tell a tourist when you see them like on the street. They're always looking lost, or they're like recording things that you wouldn't record. I wasn't doing none of that, though. I just want to say that. But yeah, I get what you're saying with you can get a vibe from people, for sure. But that's just something to think about. So it looks like you don't really care for the idea of this being a simulation, do you?
No.
You've never really thought about it. You think it's just black and white. The world that you see out there is what it is, and that's it.
Yeah, I guess I see it for what it is, I hate that I didn't have any choice to be here. Just poof. And I was born into this world.
True. So what do you think about the progression of video games? So when video games first started, they were pixelated.
Right.
They were very rudimentary. And now we have the metaverse.
We do. And I actually just bought the metaverse for my nephew.
Did you?
Right, the Quest, yes, the Oculus.
What is even that?
It's a virtual reality game where you put on these like headsets and you have these hand controls, and it literally puts you into the game.
Okay.
Like it takes you out of this universe and you're in the game, and it kind of like moves with you. As you move, it moves. It's the craziest thing. It's the craziest thing I've ever experienced.
So it's a simulation.
Well, definitely.
So why can't we be a simulation?
Because I know that I'm the one controlling this game, right? That's on my face and I'm moving it. I'm controlling it. I can't see who the other person is that's controlling me, is what I'm saying. Now, if you can prove to me that there are people out there that are doing it, then yeah, I'll believe it.
Maybe.
Like, you can see me go put the headset on, go in the game, and physically be in that game. But I can't see anybody else.
Okay. So let's talk about the concept of consciousness. So I think that's what separates us from, the other creatures on this beautiful green and blue earth. Why do we even have consciousness? Like, who does having a consciousness really benefit? Like, there's no, what is the benefit of having a consciousness? Why are we conscious? Why do we know what's going on?
Well, I'd be worried if you didn't know what was going on. But then we have our subconscious as well. And not everyone can really tap into that. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. I mean,
why are we the only creatures with consciousness? Doesn't that strike you as a little weird? Did someone put it into our program?
God.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, he's the one that created us. Mm-hmm. I'll ask him tonight in my prayers.
Yeah, let me know. Let me know what he says. I mean, I can ask him too. But let me know what he says. Let me know what him, because I would love to know why we're the only conscious
He hasn't
being.
been responsive in a while to me. But that's another topic for another day.
He's not responding to you?
No, I don't know where he's been.
Why is that? Have you been doing things to annoy him in some way?
I don't know. Maybe I'm just waiting in line. Maybe there's a lot of requests. I don't know. I just wish he would answer me. Like, there's a lot.
I mean,
at stake that I want answers for.
I mean, he's all knowing, all powerful, so I think he hears you. Maybe he's
what I'm saying, he's not answering. Why is that?
I don't know. You got to figure that out. That's what I'm saying. Like, are you being
if I had
naughty?
The answers. No, I think I've been really nice. I mean, it's not like he's Santa.
No, he's not. But sometimes he gets annoyed. He kind of leaves you to figure things out on your own.
I think that's where I'm at. Mm-hmm. I think he wants me to figher it out.
All right.
But I clearly can't figure it out. So
I think you should keep trying to talk to him. Just a couple times a day. Maybe sometimes he's, I wouldn't say busy, but maybe he might be a little busy at certain times of the day. So just maybe pray more. Maybe you might have a higher chance of reaching him. It's like when you keep calling the office.
I'll take that into
you just keep calling. I'm sure he'll answer. So it's a zero simulation for you. Do you believe in aliens?
No.
You don't believe?
I just don't believe there are other species out there. I think it's
You're lying.
Why am I? I'm dead ass.
There's no way.
I'm dead ass. I'm dead. Where are the aliens?
You think? So, okay. So you can accept the fact that we are on this earth. We are living, breathing creatures. You said we control ourselves.
Yep.
But you can't fathom the thought of aliens another species being out there doing the same thing we're doing.
Yes, because where are they? I'm like doubting Thomas. If I don't see it, I don't believe it.
But listen.
I'm listening.
We are real. We are here.
Right.
There has to be someone else out there.
How do you know that?
Because we are here and we are here.
That doesn't justify the fact that there are other people.
There has to be.
There has to be does not mean there is.
But there has to be. Because
you want there to be, but...
No, not necessarily, but...
So then why have we not found them? I mean, I know we're
we just don't have the technology yet. But do they?
Hopefully I live long enough to see.
And then who said we haven't found them? What's going on?
Who's found them?
What's going on in Area 51? I mean, I don't know what's going on over there. Then some people say that in Roswell, there were some eyewitnesses that noticed some sort of... flying saucer that crashed, and there was this big cover up, and then some people came out and said that the government was hiding the fact that there's been some things that they are investigating and trying to reverse engineer. And then recently the US government came out with the statement that they have seen unidentified flying objects in the air. So they confirmed that UFOs are out there. And you're telling me what? You're telling me you don't think there's other life forms out there?
I don't believe it.
Our government just told you that they saw unidentified flying
Our
things.
government tells us a lot of stuff.
But they just admitted to aliens. I don't think they would admit to aliens if they didn't have to.
I'm still waiting for Biden to clear my student loans. They say a lot. Don't mean it's real. Don't mean it's the truth.
So you don't believe nothing you don't see?
Absolutely.
Have you ever seen God?
Yes.
Please tell me, what does he look like?
I've seen him, not in the physical form, but I've seen him in people. I've seen him in his works in my life. But no, I've seen him in the Holy Spirit. I've seen him in the Spirit.
But you haven't seen him.
Well, I know he exists because of the things he's done in my life. Like,
Okay.
that's proof enough for me to know that he does exist.
So for God, you can accept the fact that you've never seen him physically, but you've seen his works, but you can't accept the
Because
fact
he's right, there's the Trinity. So he's both physical in Jesus.
Did you see Jesus?
I didn't see Jesus. What I'm saying is he can come in different forms. And for me, I've seen him in the Spirit.
Okay. I won't go back and forth with you on that one because...
So you don't believe that Jesus is real or God is real?
Did I say that?
No, well, I'm asking. So you've never seen him, but you believe that?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I've never seen aliens, and I believe they're out there. My whole point is that you said there's no aliens because you haven't seen them. So I'm saying you believe in God, but you haven't seen him. So
No, but I'm saying I have seen him, just in a different form. But I have not seen any spirits of aliens. No, unless...
So you need to see an alien spirit before you believe aliens are real. Is this what you're telling me?
No. What I'm saying is God is different. The debate about if God is real or not...
That's where I'm trying to get to.
It's different.
So you have...
You can't compare God to aliens.
Okay. So, listen. Let's just leave that part alone.
Can we agree to disagree?
No, we're just gonna disagree and just period.
And just move on with our lives.
We're just gonna move on.
This is a hard topic. It really is. And I think...
Because there's no real answer to it.
Well, that's exactly.
There's no real answer. That's why when you make a statement, you should be able to break it down so another person can understand.
Well, I'm saying simulations and alternate realities is really hard to make people grasp. The same goes with telling someone that there's a God.
Right.
Those two things are very, very hard to communicate to someone for them to understand it. So unless they've really experienced it for themselves, they'll never really truly understand it. And that's why I'm saying with the whole alternate universe, if I can see it or experience it, then I can say, okay, you know, like God, where I know he's real because of the things he's done for me. So I don't need to see him to believe that he's real. But there is nothing that these aliens, wherever they are, or whoever is controlling us, have shown me that proves that they're real.
Sure. So all the stories and people's firsthand accounts, those don't count?
What are the people's firsthand accounts of what?
All the stories of them being visited by aliens and seeing things in the sky, the U.S. government confirming UFOs exist. That's not enough for you to even put in the little thought that we might not be alone in this universe.
It could be, because if I can argue the fact that God exists and I only know it because I've experienced it for myself, then maybe I can understand that these people that have experienced these aliens know what they're saying.
But you don't believe that.
I don't believe it, because for me to believe something, I either have to physically see it or have some sort of experience with it.
Okay. All right. I'm not going to argue with that. Okay.
But it's like, what about deja vu? Have you ever had deja vu?
Of course I've had deja vu. Who hasn't?
Now, is that real? Like, because I always have deja vu.
Really?
Yeah.
Like how often?
Very often, where I just know something's going to happen and it happens. Now, I don't know if I dream about it or, I don't know.
Is that deja vu when you know something's going to happen when it happens?
Well, what is deja vu?
Deja vu is the feeling after something happens, it feels like it's already happened before.
You knew it was going to happen.
No, like it's already happened before. Not you knew it was going to happen. Like you feel like it's already happened before. Like you've already
like
been
it's happening
here.
Again.
Yeah. Like it's happened in the past, not you already knew.
Well,
You get what I'm saying?
no, because if it happens and then you're telling yourself, wait, this already has happened, then you knew it was going to happen. But it had to have happened for you to think that way. Do you kind of...
You didn't know it was going to happen. It happened, and then you felt like you've already been there before.
Okay. Well, I've had a lot of those experiences. I have.
Give me one example, like just random, or
I knew my ex was going to cheat on me, and it happened. Well, it happened the very same way as the deja vu played out.
That's not deja vu.
Then what do you call that?
That's just, I don't know.
Coincidence?
Maybe.
Why is that not deja vu? So give me an example of a deja vu experience.
Deja vu is like when you walk down the street, you see like a black cat walking down, and you're like, you get that feeling like, oh, I've already seen that happen.
So
like,
my ex cheating on me, it was not deja vu when I was like, okay, I'm not going to get into that. But what I'm saying is, I've experienced a lot of deja vu.
Let's look up the definition of deja vu.
Yes, please, because I'm tired of trying to...
Because this girl's over here having premonitions, talking about...
Oh, maybe that's what it is.
Talking about she's having
maybe I'm a
deja
prophet,
vu.
guys.
She's
a prophetess?
She's here seeing the future, talk about deja vu. Deja vu definition. So deja vu is a feeling of having already experienced the present situation.
Okay.
That's just the definition. The uncanny sensation you've already experienced something, even when you know you've never have. That was just another definition. So it's pretty much that feeling that, oof.
Did that happen?
Yeah, like that feels like I've already been here. But you said you feel like you're a prophetess?
No, I'm not even going to run with that.
Blasphemy.
But I don't know. Maybe it's premonitions.
What?
Like Charmed. Do you ever watch Charmed?
We used to watch Charmed
together.
Three
Witches?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not a witch.
I was about to say, listen, I'm just going to have to stop you right there.
Because one of my aunts is probably on WhatsApp right now. Did you hear?
Listen.
Priscilla?
Listen.
Says she's a witch?
I ain't no witch. I used to watch Charmed in my leisure time. And Charmed was your thing. So
it was I love Charmed. Maybe that's what's happening.
So, but tell me more about this. Like, did you have very frequent situations where you know things are going to happen?
Yeah. And I still have them to this day.
Like, more so in like a relationship or like anything?
No, in anything. In anything.
Another example. I'm curious.
I also have these like premonitions where...
Ooh, premonitions now we're using.
Well, you're telling me it's not deja vu, so I'm just going to run with premonitions. But I have these experiences where I'm always saving somebody. Like I'm jumping in front of a car to save someone, or I don't know, I'm taking a bullet for someone.
Are these dreams? Are these thoughts? Are you actually jumping in front of cars? Like what?
Pause.
I'm
telling you, I'm having premonitions. So things that haven't happened, but I feel like are going to happen.
So they're thoughts?
I think they're thoughts. Or they could, I've also had dreams.
Mm-hmm. What are they? Are they thoughts? Are they dreams?
They're both. They're both. They're both. Where, yeah. Or maybe I'm the one placing them there. I don't know. Maybe it's part of me always trying to save someone. Mm-hmm. I have that tendency to.
So you've been seeing yourself in these
like
situations.
A hero. Yeah. I think there's a whole thing about that, if I'm not wrong.
So what makes them premonitions to you? Like, what makes them premonitions other than just thoughts?
What I'm saying, it could be that maybe it will happen one day.
Okay. I'm about to look up the definition of premonition.
Yeah, look it up. But
so premonition is a strong feeling that something is about to happen, especially something unpleasant.
Exactly.
So you feel like
like I'm gonna take a bullet for someone, or I'm gonna save someone from a car accident. I always have these. It's weird.
That is weird.
Very.
That's real weird. Have you ever had recurring dreams?
Yes. I used to have, when I was a kid, I used to have recurring dreams of someone chasing me. And I'm just running. And I can't see, it's like the shadow. Mm-hmm. And I can't see who's following me, but someone's following me. And then I always reach this like abyss. Sometimes it's like I'm in the wilderness of some sort, or sometimes I'm like in like the ocean, at the very bottom of the ocean.
And how often would you have these dreams? Like weekly, monthly, or like just sporadically?
Yeah, it's sporadic. It wasn't
dream?
anything like continuous, but it sporadically I'll have. And I never got answers for that.
You know, one recurring dream that strange dream that I have very often is I always have this dream. It has to do with my teeth. Like, I have like, listen.
I'm here having deep dreams.
This is serious, okay?
Dreams about your teeth? Like, what do you dream about? Invisalign?
Listen. I keep having this dream that I have floss stuck in my teeth, and I'm trying to pull it out and pull it out and pull it out and pull it out, and it never comes out. It's just this endless string of floss that's
weird.
like stuck in my teeth and won't come out.
Maybe you floss too much. Maybe that's what it means.
Maybe I need to floss less, right?
Maybe you should floss.
It's just one of the most uncomfortable dreams. I just keep having that dream.
Yeah, that's really
and
weird.
I just can't. It's like a stuck piece of floss that's stuck. Just won't come out. It just won't come out. Like I try and like get it out.
Is it stuck because you're pulling it, or it's a continuous like strip?
It's continuous. It's a continuous strip that's stuck in my teeth and it won't come out.
Any of y'all got answers for that?
Any dentists have any hunches as to why I'm getting that?
I think
that
she's
dream?
flossing too much.
I think I'm flossing too much. I think I have an unhealthy relationship with floss.
I mean, are you using your shoelaces as floss?
I don't know. But another frequent dream that like I think I have, I wouldn't say that I have like recurrent dreams, but I do have a couple dreams that I've had like probably a couple times. The dreams that I'm like stuck on some sort of an island and surrounded by water. That's one of like the ones that like terrify me. 'Cause I don't like water.
Me either. That's one of my biggest and deepest fears.
Yeah, water, really.
Water.
But you can swim.
And
what
I
scares
love
you?
swimming.
What scares you about water?
But the something about being at the bottom of the ocean and the emptiness, but the vast emptiness of it really scares me.
Do you know that we've only like, we don't really know what's in the ocean. That's the bottom line.
With the exception of like sharks and stuff and other.
Yeah, I think there's like a very small percentage of the ocean that we've explored. The rest is just unknown.
Yeah, I don't care to know. I just know it really scares me. And I've had dreams about that where I'm the only one at the bottom of the ocean and I'm like screaming for help.
Really?
Yeah, so it's weird because Dubai just like made this, I don't know if you've heard of it, but they created
those islands?
the deepest like pool.
Oh, yeah.
And it just scares me.
Yeah, I think Will Smith did a video that
Did he?
when he was like
did he go all the way down?
Of course not.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Of course not. Who would ever do that? But it looks like from the video I saw, it kind of looks like it gets like narrower and narrower and narrower.
Oh, does it? Oh
yeah,
God. Okay, and I'm claustrophobic.
From what I remember, it starts out pretty big and wide,
Okay,
and then
definitely
like the
not.
lower you go, it gets pretty.
Yeah,
like,
that's weird.
narrow. Yeah, I would never.
Why would we
never.
create that?
Dubai is always doing something. Did you hear about those islands that they made? So they made these palm tree looking islands, somewhat in the ocean, not the middle of the ocean, but a little bit off the coast. And they're like private islands for like rich people, and they are sinking at an alarming rate. And millions of dollars have been put in those islands just for them to pretty much be sinking in the, because, ocean levels are rising. The ocean levels are rising real fast. So Dubai is they're always onto something. I don't know what their plan is, but we get it.
Maybe they're the ones controlling us.
Maybe they are. Who knows? The elite people in Dubai.
They're rich enough.
Yep, I'm sure they are. All those billionaires, all the oil they got.
Exactly.
Maybe they are controlling us. But just to go back to the ocean, over 80% of our ocean is unexplored. So just 80%. Think 80%.
That's really high.
Unexplored. Yeah.
I mean, who's going to explore them?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't know.
Because I ain't.
I sure ain't either, but I just know there's probably some scary creatures down there. Have you ever seen those documentaries with like the fish that like have never seen light and they're like
weird,
glowing and
yeah.
stuff, and some of them are just like so strange looking. I don't know. I think that's weird.
That's very weird.
That's very weird.
You ever had an out of body experience?
Or what?
An out of body experience.
Have I died and come back to life?
No, like, well, that too. That too.
Certainly not.
Okay. But I've had instances where I'm standing over my body. Like, I can see my physical body laying there, but maybe my soul left my body.
So did this precede any sort of like psychedelic or edible or weed or crack cocaine?
No type of drugs were involved.
Okay, so tell me how.
Or
tell
maybe
me how
sleep
it happened.
apnea. Is that what that is? Sleep apnea?
No, there's sleep apnea is when you have a difficult time breathing when you're laying flat.
Okay, that's not it.
But there is sleep paralysis.
Maybe that's what what's sleep paralysis?
So sleep paralysis is when, so there's a couple stages in sleep, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have REM sleep, which is when you first fall asleep, which is pretty much rapid eye movement. It's when you're first falling asleep, your eyes are going like this. So I think there's like 3 stages of sleep. I haven't gone through this for years, but there's 3 or 4 stages of sleep. Sleep paralysis happens when you're like in, I think it's the 3rd or 4th. So pretty much at some point during your sleep cycle, your body becomes paralyzed. Because if it wasn't, you'd be acting out your dreams. You can't be walking around acting out your dreams. So your body secretes whatever it does and it paralyzes you. So what happens with sleep paralysis is that you consciously wake up and your body is still paralyzed because you're still asleep technically. But whatever happens, something misfunctions and you wake up, but you're paralyzed.
But what if maybe I'm just in my like I've tapped into my subconscious, and it's not like I'm actually standing over my body, but I'm in the subconscious. Like I've tapped into that. I'm so deep in sleep that I've tapped into my subconscious.
You said you're standing over your body.
That's what I think I see.
Okay. It could be. It could be. It could be. So this happens when you're asleep.
Yeah.
This happens when you're asleep and you've had instances where you feel as though you're looking at your own body. Could you simply be dreaming?
I've also had it where I'm not sleeping. I know. I'm
gonna head out. I'm gonna head out, guys. This has been another episode of On Cloud B.
I know. I don't mean to freak you guys out, but these things,
Now you gotta tell me. You gotta tell me about one particular incident where you were awake and
like I could do it right now.
Do it right now. You guys are about to see the first ever out of body experience
while I'm wide awake
on camera right here. Let's see it.
I just did it.
All right. There you guys had it. You guys saw live on camera that my cousin is a crackhead.
Listen.
You guys are the first to see it.
That is not the response nor reaction I thought I was going to get from you.
Tell me what you experienced. Maybe I'm being insensitive.
You are being very insensitive.
All right,
I made myself get out of my body and I went over there.
You went where?
I went over there to the table. Yes. And that's why my eye, like, I don't know if you noticed, but I slightly turned because I'm almost like controlling where I go. Mm-hmm. And then I like brought myself back into my body.
Okay, I'll say this.
Of course I fucked up. Who never fucked up, Hans, in the end? No, Hans.
I'm sorry for you, but this is being posted. We posted this.
No, we're not. You know what?
Listen. What I will say is that people have imaginations, right?
So you think that's what it is?
I mean, I can
because I have a wild imagination. Maybe that's I don't know.
I mean,
I need answers.
You can imagine yourself getting up and going over there,
but it's really happening. I just don't know how to prove it to you because you can't see me in the spiritual realm.
Can you knock things over?
Not yet, but I'll keep working on that. Not yet. Not yet, but
So what do you see when this happens? Like, do you see yourself walking over there, or do you feel it? Do you feel like you walked over there?
I both see it and feel it.
So you physically see yourself walking with your eyes. There. Do you physically see it, or do you feel it and in your imagination?
Okay, I don't physically see it. I think my imagination just.
You're lucky you don't, because I was about to call.
I don't physically see it.
I was about to call somebody. I was about to call. If you told me you physically saw yourself get up and walk away, I was about to call somebody. I ain't gonna trip.
She's gonna, guys, come help. She's gonna admit me somewhere.
But listen, I can understand that, because these are.
So you're saying we all can do that?
God, we all do this. Like, we all do this.
I don't think people have that crazy of an imagination.
Listen, it's just like you're laying on the couch, you're hungry, you're like, damn, man, I really wish I should probably get up and go get the leftover in the.
So you make yourself go get it?
No, you think about it. You think about you see yourself physically getting up to go get the food,
but you're unable to.
Not you're unable to. You can see yourself, in your imagination getting the food and putting it in there.
Right.
That's not an out-of-body experience. That's just you thinking about something that hasn't happened yet.
Okay, but what? No, I'm saying things that were like, I don't know how to explain it. So how do you explain when I'm standing over my body?
I don't know. That's why I'm trying to have you explain. That's why I'm saying, like, do you physically see yourself looking down?
And seeing my body laying there.
And then that's when we went over here, where I was like, and then you said you even do it. You said sometimes it happens when you're asleep and it happens when you're awake. So you said you could do it while you're awake.
We did.
You just said that you didn't physically see yourself get up and move.
I didn't, but
so
I don't know how to explain it. Maybe I'm just not good at explaining it.
I don't know. Maybe
it's all in my head.
No, it doesn't have to be, but
it's all in my head.
You just gotta explain it. That's all.
I'm not good at explaining it. It's okay. I'm sure there's someone out there that can agree with me.
Well, of course, there's people that have had out of body experiences.
There have been people who claim they've died and seen God and come back to life.
They have been. And some people have died and have come back to life.
How do you explain that?
So they're quite simply. So when your heart stops, you're dead. We do CPR.
I'm not saying when people resuscitate you. Like, people have been put into the morgue and then come back to life.
I don't know about any of that. They weren't really dead. I feel like those happens in, like, countries that, like, people aren't really checking for your pulse.
My God.
And they go and, like, throw you in the casket. They don't embalm you.
They didn't embalm you.
They just throw you in the casket.
Threw you in a casket.
Pretty much, yeah.
Clearly.
And you somehow wake back up. But you're saying, how do people die and come back to life? Was that your question, or that wasn't really your question?
No. Well, no. I know your heart stops and then you get resuscitated back to life. But I'm saying, like, people who've said that they've seen God, like they've died, seen God, and God told them all this stuff, and they had to come back to earth. And what do you make of that?
I don't know. Maybe they saw God.
Do you believe them?
I don't know. Who am I to say it's not true? Who am I to say it is true? I genuinely have no opinion over that,
But why is it that you don't believe?
I didn't say I don't believe. I just, it could be. That's what I make of it. I don't feel any type of way about it. They could have seen God. I don't disagree, and I don't necessarily believe them either. I just say, if you say you saw God.
This whole thing is just wacky. It's wacky. It's weird. It's
one of those things. You got a podcast, you talk about whatever.
It's weird.
Talk about all the weird, wacky things.
It's getting dark and it's weird.
Yeah. Are you scaring yourself?
I think I am. I don't know if I can be alone anymore.
Well, I have no problem being alone because I don't stand
You're
over.
a loner.
I don't stand over my own body while I'm awake. So
well,
I ain't got nothing to fear. But what I was going to say with out-of-body experiences was one of the girls that I used to work at. So there's this condition in your heart where your heart starts beating really fast. We call it SVT. So S is in Sam, V is in Victor, T is in Tom. So supraventricular tachycardia. So when that happens, your heart rate is like over 160s and above. And usually your heart rate should be, 100 to 60 beats per minute.
Right.
So your heart is pretty much beating 180 times.
Fast,
yeah, it's way too fast. So the way we treat that is we give you a medication called adenosine. So the interesting thing about that medication is that it actually stops your heart for 3 to 5 seconds or so. But it feels...
Does it reset it?
Yes, that's exactly what it does. It resets the electrical rhythm in your heart, whatever the terminology is. So you pretty much die for 5 seconds because you'll see on the rhythm strip,
it just goes flatlines.
Yeah, and then it restarts. So I know one of my coworkers, she had a condition where she was feeling like her heart was racing. She went to the doctor. They found out that she was going into this abnormal rhythm. And she said when they gave her the medication, she saw black.
Well, she died, didn't she?
Yeah, she saw black. That was it. She didn't have an out-of-body experience. She didn't see anything else. She didn't see a white light. It was just black. So that begs the question. What happens when you die?
After death?
Is there something after death? Do some people just experience it differently? Was it because she was only dead for a little while? All she saw was black?
Yeah, she wasn't dead enough. You got to be dead.
You gotta be dead for at least 5 minutes.
You got to be dead. They got to pronounce you dead. You got to be in a casket. You got to be embalmed. She didn't go through all of that.
But she said everything went quiet. And then she started hearing sounds again.
Yeah, I think that's what happened.
She wasn't dead enough. She wasn't dead long enough.
No,
because
it's like it kind of goes to the question of how is life created? Like, where do we come from? We're like nothing, and then we're something, and then we're nothing again.
Yeah, you don't have an answer as to where we come from.
No, I mean,
they said God made us.
Well, God made us, but like, it just goes back to, okay, how are we formed in our mother's womb? And it's weird. Like, how do you create life within your body?
Yeah, that's...
with sperm and egg.
It's one of the fascinating things about the world. Kind of makes me think it's a whole computer system,
I'm fucking done.
Someone just put in the right
Get me out of here.
Someone put the right random computer code in there. This. We're going to have women.
So I think it's proven pregnant. You have more of the scientific mindset.
I'm
more on the religious.
Yeah, not necessarily. I believe in God.
I know you do, but everything's been about science. Is someone controlling us?
Ain't
nobody control me.
Ain't
nobody control me.
Maybe they're making you get out of your body and come back. So maybe there's a bug in your system. They're just trying
glitch
to figure it out.
Glitch.
Yeah, but this is definitely an interesting world that we live in. There's a lot of things we don't understand, right?
And I quite frankly don't care to understand.
Yeah.
I just want to live a peaceful, happy life. And wherever I go after this, I go. I don't want to, stress myself with more things that are the unknown.
So you're not concerned about really the things that are out of your
control? No.
No.
I just try to stick to what's in my control, what I can control, and kind of live my life accordingly.
Never get curious?
No. And that's another thing. Like, I don't fear death. I don't fear death.
Why not?
Because no one makes it out alive. No one makes it out.
Isn't that why we should fear it?
Why? It's something out of your control.
We're not alive anymore.
It's something out of your control. Why would I fear that? Why would I ponder over that?
It's scary.
It depends. It's perspective. It's not scary to me.
What if you died tomorrow? Would you be scared?
No.
What if you knew when you were going to die? Would that put some fear in you?
I've thought about that question.
Do you feel like the reason why you don't fear death is because you know it's happening, but you don't know when? So why even care about it? But if you knew the date you would die, would you be a little like, oh, it's getting closer?
No, because I think I wouldn't be programmed to fear it, because I'm programmed to know that my end date, like my expiration date, is X, Y, and Z. So that's the life everyone lives. They know they're gonna go out this day. So it would be like a natural thing.
What do you mean by you're programmed? Are you saying you're acknowledging the fact that you're a computer system?
I was being sarcastic. Oh. But what I'm saying is, if we are, just as like we know if you have intercourse, you're gonna, you know, you can get pregnant and then you're gonna give birth. Like if it was one of those things where we knew our end date, then it'd just be a normal thing that we all kind of go through. We know July 1st, 2026, I'm gone.
The question is, if you today knew when you were going to die, would you be a little scared?
No, I wouldn't, because it would be something that's part of life, so I wouldn't be scared.
She doesn't fear death, guys.
No, I do not. Cool. But also, that I think that goes with how I live my life. Mm-hmm. I live each day like it's my last.
Do you?
I do. I try to, at least. That's like what I try to do.
So what about your day makes it so that it's your last? Like, what do you...
Well, I don't live like this is going to be my last day, because I don't know. Mm. But I try to keep myself happy. I try to be a good person. Mm. I try to experience a lot of things that I'm passionate about. So I purposely live my life in a way where if I was to go out today, this very minute, tomorrow, I know I lived a fulfilling life. Of course, I wouldn't want that for my family, but...
So pretty much you make the best of what you have each day. And yes. Day by day. Mm-hmm. I respect that. Is that how you live your life? I definitely don't live my life like it's the last. Mm-hmm. But I definitely do try and make the best of my situation, and I do try and do things that I enjoy day by day, but I'm not living my life like it's the last. I truly believe I got a long life, and I'm just going to leave it at that. Mm-hmm. Okay. So this has been another episode of On Cloud B. Do you guys think we live in a simulation? Somebody controlling us? Are aliens real? Do you have deja vu? Premonitions?
Are you a witch?
Are you a witch? Leave your comments down below on all your kooky, wacky theories. But I really want to hear if you guys think we're living in a simulation. And give me some proof. Give me some proof of some weird things that happen.
Yeah, because I got to see it.
You know what I'm saying? She has to see it to believe it. So comment down below all your proof that we're living in a simulation. That's been it. It's been a fun one.
Y'all stay safe. Could be your last.